Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official NickWalshTV channel. We're live once again. We're playing Spin and Goes all day today and tomorrow and at least Thursday, maybe more. And we are going to try and conquer this very volatile, very wild format. Let's take a look at our results so far this year. All right, so welcome back. It's time for a graph. If you are playing the game, take the shot now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I did put in some volume over the weekend. I did put in some volume off stream last night as well. I did a little bit this morning too, and we are definitely heading in a more healthy direction. You guys will note this long extended flatness that we've been suffering through for quite some time, and this little spike here is giving me just enough hope to crush my dreams when we can't sustain it. But let's see if we can keep going up. We did have several very large upswings in a similar trajectory. I'm hoping that we can keep this bad boy going at this direction at least to here, and then we'll be very satisfied with where we are overall in the year. So over the weekend, guys, as I said, I put in some reps offline. Over the weekend, of course, the games are legitimately just softer in general. We were playing against less experienced players on average. And I put in a decent amount of volume. I didn't play as much as I wanted to, but it was nice to just get away and play a little bit off stream, strictly because I could focus on what I was doing without having to talk and do the other stuff. But then also it was nice to play against some players I hadn't recognized. It offers a different kind of challenge, and very often it can be very rewarding in game as well. So that is a positive. Now, another thing that I was thinking about over the weekend was I was thinking back over my poker career, with some success and some, some success stories, some not so successful stories. Overall, I'd say relatively positive. And I was thinking about the way that I was thinking about the game on stream recently. And I really feel like I've gotten into a bit of a negative Nancy sort of pattern of behavior. I've started to feel very sorry for myself. A lot of what I've said on stream is probably still true. So I'm not saying I'm like, making this up as we're going along. But I do generally feel like I need to pick myself up, stop being a baby, and I need to return to a more professional manner of conduct, not just on stream, but also in my body and in my soul and in my heart. Because that negativity, the little nagging negativity that this game can put into you and into your psyche can be very, very detrimental, and we just want to keep it professional. At this point, we are playing something in the region of like 125,000 games so far. $125,000 worth of poker. We're just below the 4K mark. It's not that much just yet, but we're getting there. We've played a lot of poker, and we've come up against some pretty stiff competition at these levels as expected. We kind of knew that when the merge happened, a lot of the higher stakes regs would be happy to move down because the games are much faster, sort of flattens out the volatility. They're still going to play the same amount of volume. They're still going to turn over the same amount of money. But obviously, playing 100s in the new format is a very different prospect than it was when we were playing reg speeds before. So we're encountering a lot of very good players all throughout the days that we're grinding. And in order to conquer people that are extremely professional, very often the answer is to be more professional. And that's what we're going to try and do in the future. This week, we're going to try and keep it strictly professional. We're going to try and keep it strictly high morale. And hopefully we can continue on this trajectory and just break free of this sort of void that we've been stuck in for a little while here. We, of course, are also unlocking some rewards as well. At some point, I will update you guys on the value. In fact, I can tell you how much we've unlocked so far to date. If I can open it. Okay, I'm going to press this button. Hopefully it doesn't break. Okay, that worked. Let's take a look. So far this year, guys, we have earned $1,745 in rewards, which obviously offsets a lot of the hurt that we've been feeling throughout this stretch. But as always, our key objective here is to hit an average chip EV that is becoming of a professional poker player. And excuse me, and eventually and ideally what we're going to do is we're going to hit a chip EV whereby we will be in competition with some of the players that we are taking on in this year's challenge. So like I said, we're just shy of 4,000. I'd like to try and get to 4,000 by the end of this week. I think that's very doable, but we're gonna have to fire up some tables and get the volume in order to get there. Hello, everybody in chat. Hello, Raksha. Hello, Demo. Hello, Undersea Monkey. Hot spin action. I can't wait. Hello, Zintex. I thought I did a Discord announcement. Yep, that went up. Hello, John Edwards. Yeah, all day, exactly. Sweet. Okay, really quick, guys. Let me finish my Instagram post. Tuesday spins. Let's do this. And then let's post this. Nice. Okay. All good. So with no further ado, let's fire it up, guys. And let's see if we can't make a couple buckaroos. Let's take a look at this month as well, guys. So this is what we're working on in the month of July. We're now on the 28th. It's been a rocky old month, but like I said, we have been on a very, very nice little upswing here in the EV department, which is the one that you guys know is most important to me. We've also been an upswing in the actual chips department as well. We're a little bit above EV here, which is nice too. That is kind of making up for lost time, though. If we actually go back to the year graph, this stretch has put us above EV overall in the challenge, but I think we're still under EV since the 50K challenge started. In any case, not important. Let's go ahead and play some pokers. All right, beep, beep. Oops. Akuma says, I actually think you are not that negative for a poker player, but of course it's always good to be able to brush it off and keep a positive mind. That's very kind of you to say. And I do, even though this last couple of months has been a very frustrating stretch for me, you know, you guys appreciate that, you know, in part as a streamer, it's important that we sort of like emote on what's happening. So like some of my reactions are probably a little bit over the top for the sake of the stream. Not that the emotion is fake, but that, you know, there's a big difference between somebody being frustrated in silence and then, you know, somebody streaming and having to explain why they feel frustrated, right? But also on top of that, you know, I try and I'll often succeed in not allowing that frustration to spill over into other aspects of my life, other areas of my life. As a poker player, I think it's very, very common for the way that you're running in poker to sort of spill into your personal life to a certain degree, but I think it's really healthy to try and separate the two in your brain as much as possible. But I thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. We are going to do our absolute best today to continue that upward streak. We are coming into the sort of 2 o'clock segment, which we know is very, very reg heavy. I have found that the weekends, of course, are a lot softer as you'd expect, but also the mornings. We had somebody come to stream the other day, and he asked about when he thought the best time was to play, and he was like, "Oh, is it 2 in the morning?" I'm like, probably that's good. But actually, what I've found, and it kind of makes sense in my mind, given the fact that .com has so many European markets now, or at the very least Brazilian, which is only a couple time zones away. It does strike me that early morning, so like between like 6 a.m. and like 11 a.m. or 6 a.m. and like 10 a.m. does seem to also be quite soft. How many time zones is Brazil away? Time in Brazil. Because they're behind us. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So 4 hours behind in... Obviously, I think there's more than one time zone, but like for example, in Rio, Rio's going to be closer to. So that's 10. That's the closest one, right? GMT -3. We all like to complain a little bit about bad beats. I mean, yeah, like you know, Kimber, you've been around long enough. You know that the majority of my frustration isn't even bad beats. Like, you know, it's like the bad beats can be a compliment or like an accompaniment to the run bad that we've been experiencing. Against Batuto, I think we're going to call here. This is fine. I have commented on some bad beats. For the most part, it's during the stretches where we're getting absolutely crushed in EV as well, which seems very unfair at the time. And when I say it feels unfair, I mean, like, you know, literally it feels unfair in, like, you know, in your heart. Nice. But for the most part, you know, getting it in good and losing is not something that I am not concerned about. It's when we are playing very solidly and our results look like garbage because we're just getting like cold deck. I think those are the bits that frustrate me the most. In the same way as like people will say, you lost $300, you lost $1,000 tonight, you know, aren't you pissed off? And I'll be like, no, I played really well. If I lost like $200 and I think I played really badly, oh, life tilt, life tilt. What's up, Gilly? Good to see you, mates. So those of you who've been following along with the Nick and Gilly saga will also be aware, you guys will be aware that, oh, this one is going to be probably fine. This one's too close. Let's just run this one. It's fine. Those of you that have been following along with the Nick and Gilly saga will be aware that we are currently in the middle of a 10. Take it. In the middle of a honor run in Baldur's Gate 3. Let's mark that one for review. I'm pretty sure that one will go. I'd be surprised if that one isn't in there. Wait one hand for this one. And we got off to a flyer. Got off to a good start. I don't know what my hair is doing today, guys. Sorry. We got off to a flyer. And then we did a run last night, and we came very close to ending our honor run on 2 occasions. One was accidental. One was just, I think, unlucky. But we're still alive. We're still running. We're still running. Undersea Monkey says, I think I'm skipping the afternoon spinning and indeed going at the moment, having to act up for my boss who is out sick. Too much else going on. Okay, fair enough. Too much else is going on. Fair play, mate. Well, good luck in the acting. We can wait for this here as well. Ooh. So I've been making, as many of you guys know, I am doing no drinking until Barcelona. Apart from Curtis's birthday. Apart from Curtis's birthday, that's Friday. He's gonna force me to have at least one drink. I'm not gonna go crazy. So I'm doing a bit of a diet. I'm trying to get into the gym a bit more between now and then. And we're off to a good start. And I've decided that I'm going to drink iced tea in the interim. And what I've been doing is I've been buying like iced tea. You know, the one like the sugar version, like peach iced tea that you get from Lipton's. Obviously not the best health drink, but I've been buying like a liter bottle, and then I'm just doing like a little splash at the bottom and then topping up with water. So like one serving becomes like 1/5 of a serving. And it's nice. It's nice to drink something with a little flavor. It's got a little pep. But almost no sugar. Almost entirely water. And black tea. Pure Gil says, perfect. It's going so well, I exploded. He did explode. He tried to explode me as well, but my constitution was through the roof. And my dexterity is also through the roof. So therefore I was flying. I do need to get in the habit of drinking more strength potions though. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, mates. We will fire up 2 tables in a moment, guys. Not firing spins equals plus EV. Yeah, you're probably right. I can't believe this has remained on this bottle all this time. We've had these tumblers for ages now. Don't you peel off. No. I hate when they do that. Whoever invents this sticker paste is an idiot. hate when it smears the sticky stuff everywhere. Ugh, awful. Sunday is run club at 8 a.m. Get lost, mate. Watch me lose 10 pounds. I'm losing 10 pounds in 1 month. No sweat at all. And watch me do it without doing any running of any variety. Anything like that. Last night, went to the gym. I did a 25-minute maximum incline walk, which was savage. If you guys have never tried that before, trust me, it destroys any kind of running. And then I came off and I did 3 sets of... I did 3 sets of this kettlebell run that I do as well, which is really, really good. They tried to exploit you. It was definitely a little bit like self-destruction for sure. Curtis Lambert can 100% promise it will be more than one drink. There he is. See? You see what I'm talking about, guys? With friends like these, his birthday is on Friday. Old man Curtis. 7 in a tray. We can think about check raising this if we want to. I'm not going to do it probably. Doesn't feel like exactly the right moment for it, does it? I think we can. I think we have better combos that we can use here. Like a hand like 5-7 would be better, where we have the backdoor straight draw as well. Jack 8 spades. We can definitely push this hand here if we want. As played, we'll play it as limp call. Ooh, gut shot on Queen 10-5. I will anticipate a very small continuation bet here quite often, but as played, I think we're allowed to just go like ridiculously small with the gut shot. Try and clear out some equity. A lot of times these players will ISO and then just snap give up on the flop if we don't see a C-bet. King Queen, obviously happy to run this one. In this case, we'll just do the big ISO, and then we will we'll call the all-in if we need to. Bututo! Bututo! Yeah, it's good. I live in Yorkshire. Everywhere is a max incline walk. Yeah, fair. That's completely fair. I mean, I must say, I think Brighton is also very, very hilly if you walk in a certain direction. I mean, it's along the seafront here is nice and flat, but anywhere in that direction is like, whoa. And then, of course, the Sussex Downs. They don't call them the Sussex Downs for nothing. Does Batuto check raise bluff this flop is the question. Probably not that often. I guess we got to call for 1. We can still spike a 7. We didn't get there. If he checks the river, though, we actually might have fold equity. Oh my god, do we actually have fold equity, chat? That would be hilarious. I mean, we have to do it, right? We have to do it. He could be bluffing with Jack high, Queen high, all these things. I don't expect a 9 or a 10 to ever fold, of course. Fair enough. Piotr, thank you very much for the follow. That was a very unusual way to play 10-7, but I think it's okay. Nice river. Kind of a silly hand all around, I would say. I mean, at that point, we don't really have a choice. He very frequently, let's take a look at this hand as well. Let's take a look at this one again. Not this one, this one. So on the flop, I think checking or betting is completely fine. I think the bet is going to be probably similarly valued to a check. My intention was actually to check this flop, by the way. I misclicked here anyway, but the bet, I'm not going to take the bet back. I think this is also totally cool. Getting min check raised here is whatever. That's fine. We're obviously not betting to fold for 1 more big blind when we have the gut shot. You know, our opponent can still have 6-7 here. They can still have 8-9, 8-7 here, for example. They can have complete air if they interpret us to overbet, you know, bet 10-9-4 rainbow. As played, once we see the 1, like, we just have the pot odds, right? I mean, we're calling 1 to win 8. And then once we get here and he checks, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the number of people that check a 10 here are extremely limited. The number of players that play a 9 this way are also very, very limited. So all of a sudden, even though it doesn't look like it's a particularly good situation for us, I mean, what else are we going to do? We got to put the chips in here. Story checks out. That's it. There's not really much else to it. If he has some of those hands that we're describing, like if he gets to showdown with 8-7 here, we're going to cry, right? If he gets to showdown where he's got Jack 7 or something like that, right? That would be pretty sad too. Overall, I think we just send it in and then we just go from there. It's all good. I may have already known how they might have reacted when we went in. Didn't think it would escalate so quickly. Well, there you go. All right, next game. I mean, put it this way, Chad. If we shove that river and we get a fold, oh, it's huge for the red line. It's huge. Check raise, bet 1, check river, though, I have to say, is a very, very, very wonky line. Like, imagine us checking back a 9 there. Imagine us checking back a 9. That would be pretty catastrophic, right? Gut shot, spade, and the JT. Let's go ahead and start betting. I think this is probably fine. This is not exactly the right run out to try and get an 8 to fold. We can beat some straight draws still. What a player. Pocket 8's all in. Ooh, middle set's kind of cool. Smash, smash. Ace king. Let's go to 4 here. Let's go 4.15. Just to be annoying. Uh, 20% here. So he checks the flop. He bets the turn big. The king of all the pokers. The king of all the poker. Can we trap the king of poker? Not exactly the flop we're looking for. Turn might be viable. Nice hand. Very live cards. Very, very live cards. Magnificent. 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 Cool. We do have a new PokerStars avatar as well, guys. That is a picture of my friend George on one of our more recent video calls, who has AI'd himself as a pirate. Magnificent. Done this wrong, okay. Magnificent. Jack-9 suited. We have Jack-9 suited directly into aces. And then we get aces for half a big blind. That's always fun. I think we're going to bet small and keep all the stuff in. And do we value bet again? I mean, he could still have a random ace, I suppose. It was a very quick call, though. I think he's going to have missed diamonds, but I suppose we're probably remiss if we don't try. Good decision making. All right, so Jack-9 suited definitely approved. We already know that one off by heart, of course. We got called by a deuce, by the way, on the left-hand side here. So our analysis of the circumstances seems to be appropriate. Middle pair, not a great kicker. Turning trips is fun. Pocket eights is kind of a monstro, not gonna lie. Pocket eights, El Monstero. Let's do this. King Queen we can definitely just call. Against this player specifically, I'm going to take it out. We're going multi... no, let's just do it. Let's just leave that one out completely, eh? Okay, and... Trip sixes. King of Poker we can probably check raise. Because we're fancy like that. The king of all the pokers. All right, we got the king on the hook here, guys. This is the size we're going to use on the turn. And on the river, we're going to check. And we expect him to value at the queen. We also expect him to try and bluff his diamonds some of the time. And we do get a check. He turns up here with queen 10, which is unfortunate because we definitely would expect that to go for value at a fair whack. Not all the time. We have check raised, of course. Mix that up on the river, by the way. Not always going to check there. Not always going to check there. I think we're going to kind of flip a coin and decide which way to go because I think they all have value for different reasons. Jack 6. This is in a 2x multiplier as well. I'd say we got to run that one. Let's run both. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Yo, Smoking Branch, what's up? Welcome back. Can't believe this geezer's out here. Smoking Branch. Deuce. This geezer is out here actually literally smoking branch. Clubs, baby. Yeah. Man, we love those clubs. Big fan of those clubs, guys. Yeah, Jack Deuce is a push at like 5 effective. King of Poker. King of Poker. Queen Tray is an easy call there. I approve of this call. Can't make that one work. Definitely got a call here. 6 and a deuce. This is pretty much the bottom of the barrel, guys. We're going to bet 1 on this turn, though. In fact, we're going to bet more than that. Let's bet something like this. We're going to have to get all the chips in here on the right at some point here, chat. 10-5 is going to work for us. We do dominate 5 tray. We're chopping for some reason. King of the 10, baby. Nice. No, 4 tray's not going to go there. Jack 4 will, as we get very shallow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a double gut shot, chat. Double gut shot of the universe here. That is a straight. That is a big old straight. Now, if our opponents have spades here, I'll be surprised. I'd say at this stack depth, a lot of times the spades just bet flop. So we're going to assume we have the nuts here and go with it, I think. We do manage to win a big chunk of the stack regardless. Jack 10, Jack 4, by the way. We had that hand locked up there on the right. Leave this one out. Oh yeah, ace-9 all day. Ace-9 is a monstro here, guys. An absolute omega monstro. Ooh, 100% on the river. 60% of the time, it works every single time, chat. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? 4s all day, baby. Theo. All right, Theo, we're gonna sneak this in here against Theo. Once we hit this 7, we are gonna start betting bigger. And now on the river, our opponent might have trip deuces, but I think there's a chance he has a 6 or a 4 some of the time, which we can still get value from. So let's just send this in his face and see what happens. This ain't gonna fly over here. Deuces into 10s, pretty unlucky. Pretty good turn though. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Wow. Hey, Jakers, what's up? Christmas EV in July? That's right. The donation EV has arrived, man. We are legitimately not always running into the nuts today, and it feels really, really good. This is going to sneak in here still, I believe. Hitting the 7 against the King of Poker doesn't feel like $1 million, but there we are. Check raise feels bad. Call mandatory. 2 pair is kind of cool. 2 pair is kind of cool here. If he bets big, okay. So if we wanted to bluff, let's try and do one of these. The King of the Pokers. Yeah, this one's close here on the right. I'd say against the regs, we're just going to play by the rules. I think 6-7 is a call at like 4, which means we're not quite in there. There's like 4 and a bit. And that's obviously the break-even call regardless. That's obviously the break-even call, and so that's not even necessarily like a smash hit for us here. King 5. This one is probably very close as well. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we can maybe do something different here, though. We would have lost to the Queen as well, which is interesting. So this was a question anyway. This was the question just a moment ago, right? We were asking about the sizing here. Ace Jack obviously going in the middle. Sensitive Tony was asking about how we balance that size. It's just our normal big size. It's just because it's an awkward in between stack depth. So if we were at 15, I would make it 5, but because we're at like 5.5, I'm just making it you know, five and change just for the memes. Aces. We have no chips, but it is aces. Good value spot as well, actually. How many hearts in this deck? Turned ace-x into a bluff on king 4-4 in position as raise versus c-bet. Okay, so he's doing some wonky stuff. Not quite. Let's play this one as a call. King queen suited. AKA El Monstro. What? 10? 10? Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Oh, wow. Two complete unknowns here on the right-hand side, guys. This is kind of cool. Two complete unknowns on the right. All right, we're going to bet one again. If we get raised on this river, I am tempted to call the raise. However, 7, 8, 9. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. Like queen 9, maybe? 7, 9 is blocked. This feels like it's a response to the fact I'm betting small. I don't know how many strong hands he really has here, except for maybe some 2 pairs. Papel! This comes out. And then we're going to do... This one is what we want. So, bang, 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 enter. Jack 8 suited against this geezer. Very playable hand. I think we can bet, we can check. I think betting is kind of cool. I think the same kind of deal now. Although, no, actually, we're going to make a bet here now. I think there's a chance we can get some high cards to fold that we have beat. Okay, let's do... Check here might be better because I think he'll have missed straight draws, missed flush draws quite often. Let's try that. We're going to check call this river. Check raise is too much, isn't it? Same hand, that's unlucky. We actually had him crushed there on the turn. We have a flush draw. Ooh, that might be a bad river. We're gonna check call the river here. If he has a big club, he's got a big club, that's fine. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if we're calling that much. This is kind of a nonsensical size. Okay, fine. You win. We're gonna mark that A7 jam as well. I'm pretty sure that's textbook. I would not imagine the A7 push is something that we're gonna be that concerned about. And let's finish our note over here. 7 26. This guy. Yeah, the A7 push I think is just math. I think it's fine. The Jack-7 call there was obviously very cute. Not going to fold to the one big blind donk. I'm not going to fold to the one big blind donk either. I think we have the components for a river bluff potentially, and also I think he's not going to be very strong here. That could be a very good river for us. Yeah, we're going to go for all of it now. In fact, I think the best way to beat this guy is something that resembles this. Yeah, our hand's too strong here. We have too many backdoors. The king high obviously has showdown in itself. Again, the one big blind bet, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this on this turn, though. We could already be dead. I don't think, no, it doesn't feel right. Let's do a little raise here. All right, $125 on the line. Hey, Neunfels, wie geht's dir? Hallo Nick, Grüße aus Deutschland. Ja. Willkommen, Neunfels. Ja, Mann, Deutschland. Okay, so he hasn't bet yet. This guy plays very face up, so I am actually going to take a crack at bluffing this river, despite the fact that we don't really rep anything at all. Queen 4 is an easy push here versus limp. We get trapped by ace king. We're still alive though. Anything but a 10. On the paired board though, the ace and the king is live again. That's nice. Cool, 125 in the bank. Lovely stuff. And I think that is a perfectly reasonable trap from the ace-king at that stack depth. I do approve of that as well. But I would say overall, good game for us there. The last hand is just math again. We're just going to make that move. It's going to win us a ton of chips. Sometimes they will have a trap. That's fine. They will win when they have a trap. That's okay. That's completely fine by me. Okay, so jack and a 9. We'll play this as a limp here. We're definitely calling with queens. Feels good to run into some little setups like this for us. A couple Nick Walsh setups is fine by me. Couple setups is totally cool. Let's go for 2 streets here with the jack 9. Cool. Queens is a good hand again. Yeah, here we go. Getting action with this hand is fun. On this texture, I think we can go for one of our bigger sizes. Let's actually do this against this player here. Spike and ace. Let's keep this one balanced with the one big blinder. Picking up a straight draw is nice. Blocking the straight is also cool. That is helpful. Cool. And we're getting led into here. I kind of don't really give this too much clout. I think this is probably going to end up being draws, which we want to punish right now. Okay, I mean, I guess we're calling. This doesn't feel good. That this feels like it might be like Queen Deuce or something now, possibly. But when we're blocking the straight specifically, I think we kind of got to just get this in. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's kind of like he's repping the same hand as we have in this situation, which is probably an overplay. But it's very, very, very important that we have the components we have to make the play that we did, and that's fine. We wouldn't say that anymore since the World Cup. Have you changed your minds on that? Moritz. Moritz. San Moritz. Yeah, I mean, we go top pair over top pair there, guys. I'm not really that concerned about it. We get ace-king in against ace-10, which is nice, too. I guess on that texture as well, they can still have the combo draws that they don't want to fold to, but it's like, whatever. We made top pair, chat. We're going to do something weird when he c-bets here, too. Watch this. Maybe not. Maybe we will. Maybe not. No, we won't. He already bet 2 big blinds. We won't be folding at any point. If he's got the hand, he's got the hand. Yeah, this is a sad story. This is a sad story, isn't it, chat? It feels hard to win, but I think folding is probably my ginormous mistake. Nice answer. Definitely not nice for us here. I'm going to mark that for review. I just don't see any universe where we get away. Just seems like one of those coolers in a 15 big blind stack game that you just have to run. The guy is also a reg, so capable of still having bluffs and all that stuff too, but it's... the energy says fold, but I don't think we can... I think that's an example of a spot where you just got to give him the chips. Don't think there's any spot in the universe where we get away there. We're going to mark all these hands for review. If you guys are new here, we are going to do a review session at the end of today's session. We're going to play for like 3 hours, and then we're going to fire up a review. 10-3. This is a rare steal. Syntax says, the way you pronounce my name sounds like it was French. I definitely put a little bit of a Moritz. Moritz? Saint Moritz. Bonjour, bonjour, mon ami Moritz. I gotta say, guys, I didn't think it would be make. I mean, I kind of understand it. I'm not stupid. Like I get like the appeal of wanting to have a hotkey, but I have to say, having a hotkey to shove is making this a lot more enjoyable. I didn't think that taking out 2 clicks would make that big of a difference, but I suppose it is a 50% increase on the number of clicks per day. I could take it. I could take it up to 1 notch even more. Probably, I could probably get some more hotkeys on, but. Having it built into the mouse is very, very fancy. It feels very cool. You know you love it. At some point, the way I pronounce your name is going to become a sample in one of your tracks. Syntax. Moritz. Welcome to the Hotel Moritz. Where the beds are soft, but the music, she is heavy. Welcome to Hotel Moritz. Hotel Saint Moritz. Where the beds are soft, but the music, she is heavy. King Queen. Let's go King Queen. Ace 5 is an interesting one here. I'm probably ahead of this range. I don't know. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Is it close at all? It's probably close. It's close. Flipping against the 4s. By the way, you can steal that if you want, Zintex, if you're thinking about getting into hospitality. Queens, baby! Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Hello, 10x multiplier. Let's go. Let's just keep it balanced here. You know what? I regret that. We didn't have to keep that balanced. We could have done something cool there. 10s is good enough. I should have limped that to try and play against this guy. Queen 7 hearts. Way too much hand to fold for the short stack. Ah, the river. She is beautiful. All right, let's focus up on this one over here, gang. It is a 10x multiplier, of which we have a very good track record. We win these ones quite frequently. We do have a tendency to win these games. They are beautiful. Yeah, I'm not going to fold any 2 cards to a min-raise blind be blind at 25 big blinds effective. It's not happening. I'm afraid to say it's simply... She is not happening. No, she is not happening. Oh, where's my gut shot there? Where is my gut shot there? Okay, we're going to bomb the gut shot as well. I think this is probably good enough. Maybe something like this is slightly better. Let's try. Up until 3 minutes ago, I was actually quite happy with money. I'm not so sure about it anymore. Stop it. Behave yourself. That is a massive compliment, by the way. All right, Ubi. Ubi Alewin. Come on, that's a great slogan. San Moritz Hotel. The beds are soft, but the music, she is heavy. All right, 10x multiplier. We're bluffing our ass off already. Feels pretty cool. Julian? Julian? Julian, my Romanian friend, is out here blasting like a champ. Yes, we will be playing this hand. Taking it down, apparently. The music, she is heavy. Ooh, that's a big win. The unknown player wins a pot off of Julian. So raise, bet, call, bet. Oh no, ace-7 of clubs. Interesting line there, by the way. Do this. Julian. Ooby. Ooby. Okay, let's try to do this. Oh, Jack high like a boss. We are beating some straight draws and some flush draws, chat. He may also just have a 4, but I don't think he has a 7, and I don't think he has a queen. He checked the flop so fast. Can you imagine making a jack high call here, guys? Can you imagine calling and he just shows you a bum straight draw, bum flush draw? In a 10x multiplier? Okay. Nice answer. Nice answer. La boisson. You had some boissons. Ace King of Hearts is a good hand here, chat. Let's give this a go. This is not the best flop for Ace King, I must say. Okay, good turn though. Again, diamonds probably not that much of a factor here. We could be wrong some of the time. They're now a factor. Now, I really pray this guy just has like ace 9 for no apparent reason without a diamond. That would be very cool, wouldn't it? Ugh, woof this run out. Please check. Fuck. I hate this so much. We certainly could be getting bluffed there. It's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. It's okay to fold, Julian. It's okay to fold sometimes, buddy. Happens to the best of us. Nice. 7 big blinds in a dream, chat. Seven big blinds in a dream. The Queen 8 suited spot I want to look up as well. 9 big blinds on the button, eh? All right, we're guaranteed cash at least. We're guaranteed at least 50 bucks now. And we're heads up, which means we can really spread our wings here. Try and do some damage. Hmm. 9? Wow, that's kind of cool. Feels good, chat. Feels good. The comeback is on. This is easily going to be a push against this guy. Very live cards. 7. Nice hand, buddy. Nice hand. All right, GG. That's a second place finish in the 10x multi. The limp call is very good, by the way. I do approve of this maneuver. I think we would do exactly the same thing in that spot. We're going to take a look at it, guys, but the 7-5 jam, I think, is going to be pretty good there. Where are we at? We started the hand at... Tell you what, let's actually pause stars really quick, and then we'll just look at this one really quick. These are ones that I probably overdo. Oh, sorry, guys, wrong box here. These are spots that I probably tend to overdo, but as an exploit, not just because I'm overdoing it and I'm doing it too frequently. We're at around 15 big blinds effective heads up. A lot of these sort of middling low suited connectors are going to become shoved. So like 4-5 suited is always a really good one. 6-7 suited. And then once we start to get to like 8-7, 8-9, we're going to do more of the big ISOs. But I think this still comes into a shove here. So we're going to look at 15. We're going to close stars really quick. And we'll take a look at the review tab here. So really quick, guys, I'm going to fire up GTO Wizard. This is obviously with stars completely closed. The client is not open at all. Let's take a look at the spot really quick. So play, study. We're looking at the heads up directory. Go away. We're looking at heads up. We're looking at 15 and we're looking at verse limp. So this is the call. So you can see where my head is at here, guys. We have some jamming with our suit connectors here, and then we have some of our large ISO 6-7, 8-7, 8-9. Like I said, the jams here will massively outperform against unknown players, right? So we ended up including like 7-5 suited there. I think including like almost like 7-5, 6-4, 8-5, 8-6, all these as jams is going to actually do very well and actually is a good exploit. If your opponents are trapping, these hands obviously go down in value slightly, but not by as much as you'd think. Like they're still going to perform very well. If we compare the EVs here, if we look at 7-5, the EV of a jam is 0.85 big blinds. So that's actually massive. Think about that, right, guys? A hand that most players are playing as a check versus limp, the value of a jam at this stack depth is 0.85 big blind. This is massive, right? So it's deciding that it wants to play it as a check because the check is probably in balance with what's the same value as the raise to 5, but it's also going to, it's also like a numbers game here as well, right? The computer is trying to find enough combinations of this hand to balance when we're doing it with these hands, when we're doing it with these hands, when we're doing it with these hands. Including more of these as jams is actually going to do very well against player pool, and it's very, very good. Zintex, it's a thing. It's a thing. This is a known exploit. If this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what will. It's absolutely glorious. So you can see here, the difference between the all-in and the check or the raise is about 0.01 big blinds. So doing this more frequently where our opponents are more passive, the unknown players are going to be more passive on average. Now, this guy seemed to play quite well, don't get me wrong. But when we're playing against unknowns, we have to go based on the population tendency. So actually widening up this range is going to be very good. So you can see like the concept already exists. 6-5 suited, 5-4 suited, 6-4 suited. So this is all going to be gravy. This is all really, really nice for us. 7-5 suited actually is considerably higher value than this one too. But it makes sense. It is, mate. It is. It's very clear. The numbers are there. It's written on the page. Let's go back to multi-table. And then let's fire up some more games. Sorry guys, Stars is just reopening. I had to close and reopen, of course. And we play on. I actually had a coach who had a I had a coach who gave me the ranges that he was playing with. Now this was quite some time ago. And therefore the fields on average were a lot softer, so you got away with a lot more. But he was effectively playing almost all 2-gapper, 1-gapper, and suited connectors as jams versus limp. To great effect, I might add. To very, very great effect. He was actually crushing. So including that against the unknown in the 10x, I think is very good. We should actually get more folds as a result of the fact we're playing for more money as well, which is great for that move. If we can shove there and make close to 1 big blind in EV, it's just ginormous for us. No, Mac, we just paused for that one because it was a 10x multi. We wanted to look at one spot. I didn't realize it was that valuable, to be honest. It's insane how good that is. As we get to 14, this is actually less of a thing. Hey, what's up, Smeeble? Good to see you, mates. How is work? So are you working from home 24/7 now, Smeebs? Like your job is completely WFH? That was a stellar game for us, by the way, guys. We did really well on that one. I heard there's nothing but winners on stream and in chat today. That's right. It's all winners everywhere. You missed my amazing speech this morning, by the way, Mac. I've decided we're going to stop being a crybaby and we're just going to keep it profesh 24/7 now. No more complaining. Only flopping 2-pair plus every time. King of Poker should have a big bet on this board. If he bets at all. If he doesn't, we're going to bet big for him here. Now we're going to go something like this. Some rule of thumb for me, the better the hand plays post-flop, the less frequently I need to shove it. That is generally a good... I mean, I'm assuming you mean from out of position. In position, that to a certain degree, that's also still true though. 7-5 suited has great playability out of position, so I probably wouldn't shove it there, but that's just my approach. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely not a mistake to check that. But what I'm saying is, you can see what I'm thinking. The 5-4 suited and all that stuff are played as jam, so it's not controversial that it's actually like a potential move. Especially if you think that your opponents are going to over limp fold. So if your opponents have fewer traps, that means their limps trend to weakness, which means you get even more folds, which means the shove is even higher value. And if you can turn a 0.83 or 0.85 or whatever it was big blind shove into like close to 1, it's like mega printing. But definitely don't have any issue with the concept at all. And as a rule of thumb, that is very why I would usually say the same thing. In this particular setup in the 10x though, it's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. Like, I don't even need to be concerned about the outcome. I feel really good about that hand in general. So let's take a look. I've got to fire up this one. Here we go. This is what I meant to do. Holding this one. We're going to fire this one. Cool. And then the 10s. Let's put this in the min raise as well. Sorry, I'm trying to mark this hand for review, guys. We don't have to mark that one because we just looked at it. Let's do this one as a min raise as well. Potuto! Potuto! Two life cards, no good on the left. Bututo. Fine, that's cool by me. No, no. No. Snap, snap. Two life cards, no good. Say two life cards, we were locked up there. What am I talking about? The what I meant to say was we're gonna chop that pot more often than not. Potuto. So we're looking fold. Jack 8 steal here, and we're going to give it a 2.4x. King 10 is a jammer. Queen 6 is definitely going to be in play here. Hitting a 10 is very lucky there. It feels good to run good like that. It really does. It really, really does. Oh, that's a quick check on the flop. Interesting. Could we really just take this away from this guy right here, right now? Should we try it? Should we just be crazy? I mean, we have to commit the rest now. We're blocking Queen 10. The diamonds have bricked. I mean, we have to try, right? Yeah, we're trying all right. Potuto full pots river now. We haven't bet the flop. We haven't bet the turn. My energy, my vibe, my spidey senses are making a ginormous fold here. To be honest, it's just a spot where I don't think these guys who are multi-tabling are really going to overthink doing anything wacky. And I think that is something that we always need to bear in mind in these games in general. Like, a lot of these guys are firing on 4 tables, 5 tables, 6 tables, more. For them to find a creative full pot river bluff there, And I'm going to say that's very creative. Like that's, you could do that with a king, right, for value, but it's going to be really hard to find that where you're going to get your bluffs there. Could even just be the pure ace. The ace is actually a really good full pot there as well. Solandur, hello. Anyway, that's what we're doing today, guys. We're doing only strong moves only. Today the name of the game is, if it feels bad, fold. Not if it feels difficult. Not if it feels close. If it feels flat out negative, we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it. And if it feels good, we're gonna slam it in. If you know what I mean, chat. If you know what I mean. Oh yeah, ace, queen of hearts. If it feels good. Oh yeah, feels great. Unlucky there, aces. We will never fold ace, queen of hearts there, especially in the 2x multiplier. We get very, very lucky, but also, there you go. That's what you get. If everyone always gets aces all the time, you got to lose some of the time. It's not fair that you win all the time with your aces. Bututo. $100. Let's go. So, things I don't think are a thing. People min raising with ace X often, blind v blind at 15 big blinds effective. So the likelihood of me believing this is relatively low on the right hand side. It is completely possible. I'm not going to rule it out, but we're not going to be folding. At least not on the turn. Potuto! I don't know, chat. I don't know. This is more likely to be queen 10 than it is to be an ace, to be honest. It's more like it's king jack or queen 10 if we're losing it all, but I don't think we lose here as often as we need to actually make the call. Are we going to have the best hand here at least 1/3 of the time? Yeah, probably. That's what I'm saying. King jack is hard. King jack is a hand that can be played that way. He's not going to have that often, right? At the same time, min raising blind v blind with an ace at 15 effective when you can just jam. Pfft. All right, bruv. I'm gonna do a float here like an absolute animal, and we're gonna value bet this one on the right hand side. Over here, 2 on the turn. We still have a gut shot. We can still bluff the river potentially. Can the 7 just be good once in a while? Do we really need to bluff in a spot where our opponent can have lots of bluffs? That's unlucky. There's actually a lot of outcomes there where we win, I think. So we got check raised here. We're going to raise this turn now. Our opponent's not going to have an ace often. Although... Let's do this. This is better. Yeah, on the left-hand side here, we're floating primarily to bluff, and we end up getting to showdown where our opponent doesn't bet, so I think we can still check. We are ahead of a fair number of hands that want to bet. I mean, all the flush draws we beat some of the straight draws. We beat some 5x if they want to play their hand really weird. Not saying that that's a thing, but there you go. It's annoying because I think there's so many rivers where we do probably bluff, and we do it very successfully as well most of the time. Nice. We are legitimately running very hot today, guys, and it feels pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't lie, it feels sweet, man. I can't lie. Big ISO here with the A6 suiting. Ace tray all in here versus limp. Jack 5 jam, 5 big blinds. This is all sweet, sweet textbook chat. Sweet, sweet textbook. Ace tray textbook. This is not a textbook flop. We're going to limp 9-10 suited. If he shoves, we're going to call. Textbook. Not textbook. I sang King Jack. Yeah, the limp call here is less to do with having the best hand and more to do with equity. Because it's a hand that we always want to basically get in there at that stack depth. And we're going to do very well against the hands he jams anyway in general. But we want to give ourselves a chance to play it in position when he checks, because it's such a beautiful hand to play in position that has such high value when you get a chance to play it in position. So we don't want to neglect the opportunity to play 10-9 suited against any two cards. But when they get the chips in the middle, we can't give up that much equity at that stack depth. Otherwise, we're going to overfold. If you're playing against somebody who is an ultra nit, or they're super, super passive blind v blind, heads up versus limp, you can still fold some stuff like that. But it's pretty close to beat the check call. It's pretty hard to beat the check call, sorry. I'm going to let him blast off here, guys. We're not going to raise. Shove the turn. Do it. What? Now that was a very annoying turn, chat. We had him right where we wanted him. We didn't scare off the pair. He turns the set when we've got two pair. That is a horrifying encounter there. Truly, truly horrifying. But that's fine. That's just a cooler. We're not worried about those. Those are okay. And King of Poker, we're allowed to do this. This is fine. The weak aces are the best ones to 3-bet jam there. Offsuit, the suited ones want to call more. Queen 4 is... Let's do this one like this. Queen 4 at 75. Okay, leave this one out. 10s is a slam dunk call here. Ace 4 push is good. Ideally 2 folds, but tutto. This one is gonna be, this one's better. Ace 10 of hearts, yes please. Absolutely glorious spot. Truly glorious, glorious situation to find yourself in there. Gotta say, guys, it feels good. Feels real good when you're on the right side of those. You feel like kind of a genius. It makes you feel like kind of a genius. Not gonna call here. The 7-5 suited jam there, again, good example of a hand versus reg. We want to play aggressively. Ace 10 can go in the middle here. Okay, 4 on a tray in position. Pair of trays. Betting flop here is probably not the end of the world. I think checking is also okay. Just tricky to know what to do on the turn when it's not a club or a straight draw. Does give us some straight draws though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might just have a 6 now, I guess. 6, 7. Even better. Two of the livest cards you've ever seen in your life. Get there. And King Jack for sure got to go in the middle here. Oh, the J-Will. Yes, mate. God, feels so good. Feels really, really, really good to just get there once in a while. Above average, get there right now. 10. Yeah. Yeah, okay, fine. Hey, Florian, what's up? Good to see you, mates. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. I don't know. The king of poker, he never shoves these ones correctly, though. I mean, the computer says call, obviously. Yes. Hey! Dan Hedan, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. As we wrap this game on the left, let's fire up some more. Time is 3:30. El Mejor. We got a game verse. El Mejor. And some guy called Ton. All right, I need some more juice, chat. I'm gonna get me some more juice. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Yeah, this is a nice spot. Feels good to be on the right side of these spots. I really like being on the right side of these situations. And we're heads up against the unknown player. We have a gut shot. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're allowed to do this. Whoa. You win. You win, man. You win, you win, you win, you win, you win. This is potentially a very big draw. Potentially. We're losing to the Jack of Hearts and the Ace of Hearts. Cool. Nine, 5. Too spicy. Pretty good flop. Yeah, baby. We like those. We like those a lot. We like those ones a lot, chat. Doing it for Joe Stapleton. All right. Let's make some notes quick and we'll carry on. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Cool. El mejor. El mejor. Damn, that is yummy. Pocket 4 is also yummy. Jack Deuce, not so yummy. Yeah, ace-9's good enough here. 8-7 now. This is definitely good. Ace-9 not so good apparently, even though we put the chips in correctly. Avoid catastrophe there. What have we done with our music, by the way? It's just playing really quietly. Can you guys hear the seagulls, by the way? I realize this is one of the first times we've had seagulls again for quite some time. You can come back on the left-hand side here. Comeback is on. Comeback is real, by the way, over here. This is an actual real comeback. Yes, this one's okay. That one is actually okay. Interesting turn. Oh my god, the comeback is so on. Yes, 8 big blinds in a dream. Let's go. El mejor. El mejor out here. Trying to bluff me on the turn. El mejor out here trying to bluff me on the turn like a boss. This is a limped pot, by the way. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Woo! El mejor! Don't test me, dog. Don't test me, dog. What did I say? Don't test me, dog. El Mejor doesn't know what to do now. He is terrified of what he just witnessed. The call down with the king is real caliente. The move is so good, though. I'm going to steal that one. That's really cute. Bet flop, one big blind turn, like bet pot river. Let's go. Honestly, El Mejor is like legitimately one of the best spin and go players I've ever played against. He's super, super good. What's up, Dean MC? Good to see you, mate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah. 8-5 off is a close one here, I think. I think we're probably just gonna let one go. Jack high like a boss over here on the right. GG. The comeback was definitely on for a second there, which was kind of cool. I know I hate when work gets in the way of poker, mate. It's really annoying. Really, really annoying. Hundo. This is going to be a 3x ISO. We're going to call a jam if we need to on the right-hand side. Otherwise, we will be playing Jack 10 suited out of position. We managed to hit a 10. Interesting board now. So I would imagine this is probably what we do most of the time. And on the turn, we have to make a decision. Are we going to commit? So a lot of the kings, we started this hand at... Okay, interesting. Betting seems wrong. Checking is probably okay. If we get shoved on the turn, I guess we got to call. There's a question mark as to whether or not we check shove, because there's so much out there that we are going to be... beating still. The king is obviously not a good spot for us. I'm going to mark this for review. The turn, flop and turn play, I think are going to be really interesting here. I've probably botched this hand pretty bad, but on the double flushing board, I don't think we can make that big of a mistake there. There's going to be so many hands that we're beating and hands that we are protecting from with a ton of money in the middle. We'll take a look at that one for review later on, guys. Doesn't feel particularly good there. Doesn't feel like a particularly nice hand. The fucking random ass king is really, really annoying, but good luck with that, mates. We can legitimately check jam and get called by a worse 10 though as well. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'll definitely say it's a tough one. Tell you what, after these games, we'll take a look at that hand really quick. We're gonna cheat because it's in my brain now. Double flushing board definitely is a component here. He's gonna do the same thing with clubs. He's gonna do the same thing with some straight draws that are really bad as well. If he has Queen X or something, that would be so good. If he bets small, I mean, calling minimum on the 5 of hearts river, we probably still have to call a shove anyway if we play it slowly. Let's take a look. I think checking flop, probably not a thing though on that board. Range wants to bet. All right, let's think about that hand in a second. Let's just play our games now, and we'll study that in a moment. Because we don't want what I think is probably just a bit of a cooler to derail our session, which has been very good so far. Huge flop. GG. Queen 4 of hearts, we'll just shove her blindy blind if we get there. See if El Mejor wants to mess it up first. Queen 7, so we have a ISO not all in. This is an ISO bluff that we randomize. We fold to the jam though. 2 life cards, very nice. Love hitting those rivers. We need a double in the hundo now. We need a Michael double with pocket 8s would be nice here. That is definitely a nice spot. Back up to 11. Mejor. King 8's a good call here. GG. Okay. And folds. Nice. Cool. All right, so really quick, guys, I'm going to close Poker Stars again. The client is completely shut down. I want to review this one hand that we just played. I think it's already in here, isn't it? Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the hand in question, guys. Limp raised to 3. This is either 3 or 2.5. Both are going to be very similar in value. We arrive here. I think range wants to bet this board a lot. I think betting a 10 here makes sense, simply because we're getting called by worse 10s. We're getting called by some 4s. We're getting called by clubs and straight draws and all kinds of shit. Once we arrive on the turn, our hand is still going to be the best hand often. I think checking is quite natural here. If we get shoved on, we probably still call, I would imagine. If we get bet at like this, now this is tricky, right? Because this is going to be very polarizing. Some players will do this with their draws. Other players will check their draws and hope to try and bluff you on a later street while realizing the value of their clubs, for example. But if you arrive on this turn and you have 6, 7 of clubs, right? Or 8, 9 of clubs. That's another good one, right? A lot of players are just going to be happy to bet this one. So really quickly, I just want to fire this into GTO Wizard and see what they think of our play from the hand history. Because on the double flushing board, when there's even more equity out there, I don't know. I don't know if we can make that big of a mistake by jamming, but let's take a look. Okay, yeah. So on the flop here is where we're going to deviate slightly. So there is a raise to 3, all good. That was the correct size. And there's a call on this board, checking a fair amount. If we are going to bet, it looks like they are happy to bet. We bet 1.5, right? So this isn't a size that they're going to use often, but you can see the value is almost the same as all the others. The cool thing about this is, again, when we're looking at spots like this, I go over this every time we do a review session. The value of betting 1.5 and the value of 3, they're the same against a computer. Against a human, the simplification to a 1.5 here, I think, is probably what's going to be most useful. So just really quickly before we move on, if we simplify this to a one-size structure, so what this does is basically this forces GTO Wizard to only use one bet size that it thinks is the most optimal in accomplishing the objectives that we're trying to get. So building the pot is important sometimes. Sometimes it's just betting small so we can get more folds for a better price. So the single size is usually a good indication of like what we can default to if we're not sure what we're supposed to do. So if we go to single size, the continuation bet is 1.2. So it's even smaller than 1.5 is the simplified ISO continuation bet on this board. So if we're always doing 1.5 and it deviates because it's going to be 3 more often and check more often, I'm completely okay with this. So we'll just act as though this is a bet, right? So let's assume if we start from here, let's say that we do bet 1.2 and there's a call. The turn was the 8 of diamonds. And now Jack 10 all of a sudden is a hand that is... oh, Jack 10 suited is here. So all of a sudden we have spades, we have hearts. There's a fair amount of jamming here. There's some checking here. What do we actually have? We have Jack 10 of hearts. So they kind of don't mind just shoving the Jack 10 on the turn, but I think that probably kind of already answers our question. If Jack 10 is good enough to shove this turn with, I would argue that once we check, like, we probably are going to commit. So let's see what happens. So we check, our opponent bets something like this, and then we have Jack 10, and yeah, like we're just ripping it in, right? We're just going to jam. So we've actually played this one pretty much identical to GTO, assuming we're playing like our style. But the all-in is basically mandatory with our hand. Our hand is too strong to give up on this double flushing board. So we've nailed it, really, it's fine. Running into a king is whatever, and that will happen occasionally, but that's okay. So let's take that one out of the hand history review. Let's get back to our tables. Let's fire up Poker Stars again. And we'll continue blasting. Like I said, it doesn't feel good when you're like in that spot and you put it in against a king, but it's just like, I feel like on the turn, never folding. Calling feels terrible. I guess, yeah, there you go. That's your answer, right? If you're never folding and calling feels bad, then I guess you only have one answer, and the pot is already pretty big. Everything is slightly different because all the sizes are slightly different, but that's definitely close enough if you go single size. I feel good about that anyway. Okay, cool. Next game is 75. Let's play another game over here. That's not the right game. That's the right game. And Jack 10. Let's go. We're going to raise this turn now. I think just going to 3 is good. And possibly bluff the river some of the time. I mean, look, when he bets 1 here... This doesn't feel very strong. He might just have like a flush and he's being weird. Don't think he plays an 8 like this. All right, wish me luck. Nice, there you go, that makes sense. We'll make a note about the min-donk betting with the nuts, because that's exactly what we're trying to exploit in this spot, right? That's exactly the hand that we are, that kind of makes sense, assuming your opponents actually have this line at all. Min-donk was FD, min-donk nuts, min-donk nuts. So that's fine. We are going to note that one down. Going to note that one down, and then we'll know for future not to take that line. As I say, I don't think this is how... This doesn't feel like an 8. I'm not concerned about the ace, so all of a sudden our opponent does end up having some very weird hands in there. And we paid to see it, so we're going to try and benefit from the knowledge that he does have this line. And in future, obviously, when he has these min-donk lines, we're going to be a lot more... We're going to be more cautious at attacking these bets. This one comes out. No, this one's still in, I think. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this here. All right. Take it out this time. Interesting. Okay, so I think we do have the best hand here often. Checking seems good though. I mean, 5 deuce of diamonds, I guess, gets there. Ace 9, I don't think he has ace 9. Nice. That actually ends up being a pretty high value spot for us. Gonna trap 5s on the right. Betting flop is cool, I think. Checking is probably slightly better on this texture. Raise this one 2.5 with the pretty Broadway combo. Nice, 75 on the left. On the right-hand side. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. King of the poker. King of poker. King of all the pokers. King of every poker there is. King of poker. Full house. King Jack of diamonds. We're not going to min raise fold. Man, we are tearing it up. Let's go. Checks the flop. Interesting turn the situation. So we have a pair and a gut shot, and our opponent could still bluff theoretically. Can we get to showdown with a 5? This one doesn't feel like it's a hero call. This one feels like we've got to continue. See what happens on the turn. Against the King of Poker, we're going to try and get to showdown with a 5. Can we get to showdown with a 5? So this random player bets the flop. Bets the flop, checks the turn. Now he's betting 3 on the river for some reason. So did he backdoor into hearts, or is he just completely bluffing? Fair enough. Fair enough. That's very reasonable. I needed to see it, though, I'm afraid. Just needed to see it. Just needed to see it for myself, friend. Hey, Ninja, what's up? Good to see you. It's going well today, mate. We're doing very well. We are having a good time today on the streets. Ace, Queen, let's go. Queen 9. That is a very, very good flop. We're going to give him a little bit of rope here. The hearts run out on the right-hand side. We have a boat on the left. Don't do anything crazy now, mate. Oh, okay. A little bit of a pause there. Let me see if I can entice him in. Nah, nothing. Nothing, bro. It's not the right one. Sorry, guys. We have trips over here. I'm going to start betting on the turn now. Can we get a little bit more value from the trips? That's pretty sick. That is pretty sick. That is actually kind of disgusting when we have a 9 in our hand as well. We have trips with the 9 blocker, and he's got Jack 9. Cool hand, dude. I mean, talk about a bluff catcher. It's like, it's not even a bluff catcher. It's just a value hand. Nice. Well done, mate. Very good. Very impressive work there. Very impressive stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to do anything else there, are we, guys? Pretty standard. Pretty standard cooler for us there. Let's just leave this one again. This is a 2x multi. We just want to find a reasonable spot. That is a real sad hand there. Flop trips with the straight draw on the turn. Get it in it with the blocker. It's pretty hard to lose there. Okay. Yeah, I think we're calling with aces, guys. How many hearts in this deck? This guy never loses, I swear to God, dude. I have never witnessed anybody run so hot. Ever. History of poker. 4 is getting wrecked. Follower. Yo, C-Pred Sox, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. I mean, what are we going to do, chat? We legitimately have ramped up our game here. We are definitely playing very good poker today. Feeling very strong in the poker department. We've got it in good against the king of poker with the best hand on several occasions today. And he always seems to come out on top. Oh, there you go. Pocket 10's no good. Pocket 10's not good enough. Oh, what the hell is that, dude? Put the game on the screen, god damn it. No! There we go. Huh, okay. Try and keep the standards up here. Let's not let the bad beats make us slip up. Interesting. We should have the best hand on the left-hand side here a fair amount. Did just kind of take a random crack at it there. Should be a good 2-barrel here. 2.5 seems fine. 4, 5, 9. This works, right? And then shove the river. Ideally, we're not he doesn't have an 8. A lot of players won't play an 8 slow on this texture. They panic because they don't want to see overcards. So a 6 might be a good call here. It's a hand we can get value from for sure. Aces. I've heard this is a good hand. We're going to flat with the aces here, guys. We're going to be ultra sneaky. We're going to be ultra mega sneaky. We love our opponent just to bluff his ass off now. So here's the deal, guys. We've under-repped our aces. Our opponent should crush this board. We're going to call. We're going to check the river. He's going to blast it in. We're going to show him who's boss. Get the whole stack in the middle. We can beat some flush draws. I don't think we're going to get a queen or a king to fold. I don't think he has a queen or a king, though. He could have running 7s. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with this. The running 7s isn't great. I would probably bluff a lot of rivers there. The running 7s is like kind of makes me feel uncomfortable for some reason. Okay, we got notes on both. This isn't gonna go. 5 trays not good enough here. Okay, all right, so we got the note for that one. Let's focus on this one really quick. I want revenge for the min donk flush over here. We've seen this from this player. Follower. Oh, okay. We're up against this gentleman. Min 3-bet blind, big blind versus button, multi 18 effective. Call was king 6. So pretty much he just punted. That's good to know. Okay, and call. I don't think we're folding. I don't think we're folding. If he's got us beat here, that's fine. Oh, see, that's really unlucky. We actually called pre. We had him dominated. This is exactly the reason why we need to be calling in this situation. We have a note specifically about his tendencies to 3-bet. On the wider side, Jack-9 spades as a 3-bet I don't think is a mistake. I don't think it's even particularly crazy, but if this is the trend that we see, we need to stick to our guns, because if he has these hands, he's going to have a bunch of other stuff that we're crushing with that particular combo there. So this is good for us. This is not what I wanted to do, though. Sorry. Table number 2. This one. Okay. Cool. And that's fine. We're not going to call the 3-bet and then fold in that particular setup with that guy having the note. He's playing kind of a fast and loose game. If we're playing against an unknown and we have no notes, we need to be a lot more careful, of course. El mejor. So this was a min-raise pot pre. Okay, you win, you win. King high for the win. King high for the win. Ah, it was king high for the win. Just with a 9 and not an 8. Ja. Das ist good, man. Das ist good, bro. Flusher. Nice. Good hold. Wow. King 4 of hearts is kind of gnarly here. Cool. Nice hand, dude. Ace queen suited can never fold. Call an offsuit queen. Nice hand, Tenge. Very good. 2 unknown players on the left, guys. This could be a good one. Can we get a big multi, please? Not the 2x. We want the big multis with the unknown players. This is the way. This is the way, mejor. Honda Wayne. So we're going to take a limp here, check here. We do manage to spike an ace, which we will be betting large. We're going to bet this one 1.5. Bad run out on the left. Bad. I'm hoping we check and they turn up with a 9 or a 7 without a spade. Come on, bruv. Come on, fam. Come on, bruv. Nice. Nice. We are almost heads up against Bike Helmet. Great name, by the way, Bike Helmet. Over here, we're going to call with the 10-9 guys. It's not a good hand, but it's not enough chips to fold a hand with this this much equity. Straight. There's the straight. Yes, please. All right, we're going to play some hands. We're going to play some pots here. We're going to play some Potses. We're going to play some Potses. In the 2x multi, we're going to play the 9-5 as a push. This guy should theoretically overfold, which is good for the shove value. 8 tray. Let's sneak in a limp here. This is way off piece. We should not be limping with this hand. But we have some moves. We have maneuvers. Looks like this. This is one of our maneuvers. The delayed bet. The delay bet maneuver. 3.5 big blinds. What could go wrong, chat? 3.5 big blinds. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? All right, we got the chips in good. It was a close one, though. Queen 7, technically a call there against the unknown player. We're going to take it out, though. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that was fun. This actually should have been a lead. We should have donk led this one, I think. Queen 7 should have been a donk lead. We got unlucky there on the left, guys. We played that game well. We're going to call a river bet there if we need to on the right. Seven deuce. Ace 4 of hearts is a beautiful hand. That's unlucky. Unlucky. Down, 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 down. That's unlucky. Oh, hello. We're still alive in the right-hand side here, guys. We can still do this, guys. We can still do it. Ugh. Not the hand we wanted to find there. That's not the hand either. Nice. Cool. Keep it going. Keep blasting, please. There we go. All right, we got notes on this guy. Ugh, it's not a nice turn. Okay, he almost definitely is going to have a pair smaller than a king or a queen. We're going to try and get value from that. What did I say? He's probably going to have like a 9 or something like that. What did he have? He's got a 9. I thought it might have been like pocket 8s as well. Once in a while. Do, 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 do. Cinco, cinco, cinco. And we're still in this hand here. Cinco, cinco, cinco. Cinco, cinco, cinco. All right. Do I think that he has an ace? No. Do I think that he has a 5? Maybe, but unlikely. Do I think he has a flush draw? Very likely. There you go. We put the chips in good, chat. Over here the same. 2x multiplier. Read the room good. Get it in. That's all we can do. Played him like a fiddle. And played him like a fidele. All right, I have a good feeling, guys. I think we're going to make it to 4K games this week. I think it's definitely going to be possible. We have an ace. How aggro does this guy want to get? All right, keep all the bluffs in. Call any turn. Okay, in that case, we're just going to shove turn. It's a double flush board now. He can still call us with a jack. He can still call us with a king. He can still call us with spades. He can still call us with hearts. We managed to get a huge pot off of this guy, though. We want to make a note on that size, though, as well. That was big, big. That was big bet stuff right there. This was a single raise pot, right? Yeah, min raise pot, full pot, give up. Okay, against the unknown player, we're going to overfold the ace-3 here. We do not connect, our opponent checks. King high is basically the nuts, right? King high like a boss? Love it. Ace and a deuce is going to be good here. And no, that's not the one we're looking for. Facing a mid-raise against the unknown here. 10-7 is just probably still too good to fold, but I'm going to do something I don't usually do. This is actually usually a call here as well against the reg. I'm going to overfold the queen-8 there a smidge. But we're doing it, guys. We're in the flow. I feel the power of the universe flowing through me here. I can sense my opponent's intentions. I can sense the flow of the universe The electrons on the other side of the universe flowing in quantum entanglement in my brain. Nah, not that one. And this one actually probably does go. Let's say, let's take that one out for now. I think. We'll mark the king deuce suited for review. I think probably that is supposed to go there. It feels a little bit close though. If it's close, I'm not that mad about it. Yep, king 7 too strong now. It's unfortunate to run into king 10 here. King 7 is way, way, way too much to fold though. It was for 6 big blinds. Yeah, I would say that is way, way, way too far. Way too tight to fold there for 6 bigs, regardless of the player type. Okay, so nice, getting a lock is cool there. We are not going to fold the ace blind v blind. That's not nice. 40% equity is ginormous. Basically can't lose. Yeah, that one's fine. I'm okay with the punt there. It's not even really a punt, to be honest. That's just going to be normal stuff. That's just, you're short, you have equity, run the cards, try and get back in the game. Both players here, ultra, ultra short. The pocket threes has got to fly in here for sure. Getting 2 folds is obviously fantastic. Running into 8s, not so much. But that's fine. That's part of the calculation that we've already done. We have included the times they have 8s, and it's still going to be the right send there. So we're currently at 3,877 games, guys. We're trying to get to 4K before the end of the week. I mean, we should be able to smash that. I think we should be able to get well past that, right? In 3, yeah, we should do that, no problem at all. Obviously, if we're playing off stream and we were going flat out, we would smash that out of the park. But I mean, on stream hours, obviously, guys. Stanley Cat. Oh my goodness, Stanley, what are you doing here, buddy? What are you doing here, mates? The thing is, he can have worse flush draws. Oh, this is annoying. I might just gamble with him here just to see it, because I want to know what he's doing this with, too. There you go. Amen, brother. Amen. There you go. I'm glad we didn't fold. Heads up against the king of poker, the one and only. The prodigal son. The world's greatest king. The world's greatest game. Okay, 10-4. Let's do the big ISO here. And let's jam the ace deuce. 10-4, good buddy in the bin in the 3x. No. Jack 9's definitely good enough, though. Jack 9 over here as well. This is going to be one of our 3x ISOs. 2 live cards, no good on the right. We battled hard, but it was no good in the end. The one and only king of poker. I am tempted to go for 2 streets here. What's stacked up 3 at? Okay, let's try it here. Let's do this. I'm tempted to give him the 2 barrels and see what happens. Not the best run out to bluff again. It's definitely not a hand we expect to fold, but that's okay. 5-4 club. We just looked at this one 2 seconds ago. Ace-10 suiting. Trap the ace-10 suited on this occasion. I'm going to bet as though I have top pair here. Ace-10 is not going to be folded on the right-hand side. Good luck if you got it, buddy. Oh, no, not like that. Not like that. Ace King. Well, that's unfortunate. That was a very good situation for us there. We got 2 pair on the river, guys. The 3 gets there as a straight. I'm going to check call the river here. I think we can potentially win this pot. We do. No, that one didn't develop the way I wanted it to, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Nice. It's nice to wake up with the best hand there. 100% against the king of poker. We will not be folding ace-8 of diamonds, chat. This might as well be the nuts. Might as well. Redemption. Redemption. Redemption, please. And thank you. Redemption. We won't be folding 8s, guys. I know this is a min 3-bet, but this is bad business and a 2x multiplier to fold this hand. Good luck, sir. I hope you win it. Heart. What the fuck? Double bad runs. Min 3-bet. SB multi-way 15 effective was... It's king off. It's good to know it's not just the uber nuts. I mean, ace king is the uber nuts, but you know what I'm saying? It's not just aces, kings, queens, whatever. We got it in good twice. Sorry, guys. I keep clicking the stars caption option when I'm trying to load our interface. Stars caption is not a table. Ooh, this is primo. This is primo big ISO territory, the 7-deuce offsuit. We rolled a 2 as well, chat. We actually randomized into a 2. Yes! Come on, 7-deuce. Let's go the deuce. Decides not to bet this board. We do have a pretty strong hand here. King Jack is pretty high up the range. And now El Mejor is going to bet big. Interesting. All right, I'm just going on vibes. Vibes alone. Just vibes. Let's mark the 9-4 suit as well. It's going well today, Tom. We're having a good time. Out of my table. Jake, thank you for the follow. Pilates, thank you for the follow. Glad to have you guys here. We're going to play a couple more games and we're going to do some review. Not quite. Trap of the century! The tramp of the century. Pretty nice pot there. Like that one a lot. Let's go for the big ISO with the Queen 7. Big ISO. We connect with the Queen. We're going to do a little bit of these and a little bit of that. Okay, and then we're gonna do a little bit of these. Don't drop the pen. Don't drop the pen. No, 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 no. Call and check raise. Check raise seems okay. Let's do it. Seven 4 is going to come out against Pisco. Okay, so Pisco is actually a player that I have marked in blue, but I do think he has a reg. I think that Pisco is very probably a good player. He does have a couple things that we have marked specifically for review. Not review, just stuff that we think we want to keep an eye on. So we've flopped basically Jin here, guys. We're going to play this one slow. We're going to play it like we have 2 overcards. This is actually a really good card to convince him to bluff again, I think. Should be a really nice spot. Yeah, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. I say bluff, he's got jacks on this occasion, but... Nice game for us there, feels good. Getting 2-barreled by El Mejor, one of the most aggressive, talented players of all time. Okay, we're not folding this river, guys. If he bets here, we're calling, and if he's got it, he's got it. He deserves it. If he's got it, he's got it. If he has got it, He has got it. And that's all I've got to say on the matter. Thank you very much, sir. El mejor. El mejor. Two barrels minimum. I think we're allowed to just do something like this. El mejor. You win, mate. You win. Nice work. Well played. Okay, this is actually going to be one of our big raises. We're going to do something in the range of 4.5 ISO is fine. Again, we don't do that often, but we do randomize for it occasionally. Gotta bet the turn now, surely. A little bit of protection goes a long way here. Why are we getting check raised on the turn? This is weird. Why are we getting check raised on this turn? Why are we getting check raised on this turn? I don't believe you. I don't believe you, sir. Why are we getting check raised on the turn? I don't believe you. Don't mess with me, dog. Don't mess with me, dog. It's such a good move. Nobody ever finds those check raises on the turn. It's really good. It's actually like a really good player, and it's annoying. El Mejor, man. The Argentinian bad boy of poker. The Argentinian bad boy comes out to play with the check raise turn. Siete, siete, siete. Come on now. 125, baby. 125. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Back to Palais del Mejor. Le Palais du Congrès. Le Palais du Congrès de Paris. Le Palais du Congrès de Paris. Pair of eights. Pair of eights, pair of eights, pair of eights, pair of eights. Value bet. Value bet. Okay. Thank you very much for the follow, MYLSR. We have 2 pair, chat. We have 2 pairs, and we are going to bet big. $125 and 2 pair on the flop. What could go wrong? What could go wrong, chat? Yes. Oh, man, that's some sick EV as well. I got to say, chat. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's take a look at what we did today, guys, because it's been a good day. It's been a good day. At the start of today's session, I gave you guys a speech about mindset, about gumption, about professionalism, and we ran kind of good today. We ran kind of bad today. We'll take a look in a sec, but I feel good about the new mindset. We came back from the weekend. We've had a long stretch of kind of not a lot going on in the middle with the pokers, and we decided we're going to stop being a little baby. We're going to man up. We're going to person up. And we're going to take this down. Okay? We're going to sort this challenge out today. Let's take a look at our graph today. I think this is good. I think this is going to be very strong. Wow. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello, mama. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we absolutely mega murked the games. Red line, awesome. Blue line, not so good because we ran kind of shitty in our all-ins, but I'm not worried about that. It's not acceptable for me to complain about EV, and then when we crush it and we're below EV in chips, for me to whine. That's fine. You guys know I don't mind the beats. I just don't like the coolers. And we had a couple coolers go our way today, which was really, really nice. We successfully managed to crush today. We ended up down $225, which I know sounds contradictory, but as you guys know, the EV is the important component. If we can prove in 10,000 games that we can win enough chips on average over a large sample of games, we can prove that it is possible to marginally beat Spin and Goes. Marginally. And as I said, if we take a look at our big graph, if we go back to the year so far, you guys know that we have been stuck in what I'm calling the doldrums. This long stretch of not any EV being accumulated. It's not good. It's boring. It's boring for stream. It's boring for me. It's boring to watch. However, we need to endure. We need to embrace the hardship. We need to stop whinging about negative outcomes, regardless of whether or not it's a beat or it's a cold deck or whatever you want to call it. And we need to have about 10 more sessions like this. Not 10. 10 would send us to the moon, to be honest. This has been pretty stellar. But yes, my LSR is asking about year-to-date stats. So this is where we're at right now, guys. A chip EV of 7.4, which, like I said, we are definitely not a 7.4 chip EV player. We've just been stuck for a little while. We are down $3,149. This is pre-rakeback. With rakeback, we're actually down just a smidge. What was the number? I said $1,800 earlier in rakeback. We're actually ITM 34%. Now, this is an interesting stat. You guys should know from your mathematics tuition in school, in order to break even in a game that is winner take all, where 3 players take part, you only need to win 33.3333% of games on average in order to break even. That's obviously without rake. Rake is always the big component here. With rake, beating the games 33.3333% of the time isn't close to enough. You actually need to win a little bit more. I can't remember the exact win percentage frequency. However, we are trending in the correct direction now that we are going up again. So this chip EV, if we can get that anywhere to 15 and above, I'll be very pleased. It's about double where we're at right now. Like I said, with rewards, with rakeback, this number is significantly lower, and it's actually not that many buy-ins in the grand scheme of things. So just very, very roughly, this is where we're at right now. 3149 minus around 1600. I think it might be around 1700. So divided by 25, it's only about 61 buy-ins. 61 buy-ins is not bad at all. In the game of spinning goes, especially the modern spinning goes that are this fast, 61 buy-ins ain't nothing, mate. Swinging 61 buy-ins, not a problem. When we did our 50K challenge last year playing the $10 stakes, we had a downswing of 160 buy-ins, and we still managed to come back and make a profit overall in the challenge itself, which is just the name of the game. Spinning goes are kind of mental, right? So this is all what it is. But again, this is just a snapshot of the year so far over the course of 3,800 games, or wherever we're at right now. This is 3,882. Like I said, that is not a reflection on where we're at as a player. I know that to be true, and I know that to be a fact, and we need to stop whinging about negative outcomes, because that is not helping us to get to our targets. However, sessions like today, if all of our sessions look like this, my God, we would be the best spinning go player on earth. Of course, this is just a small sample. This is only 80 games played. However, more like this, just a couple sessions like that, and we can turn our year graph into something that will look like a professional spinning go grinder for sure. This number is big and ugly. We don't like the look of this, obviously, but as I said, the modern game is about volume. It's about defeating the variance through the volume, and it's also going to be about getting those rewards as fast as possible. So in that interim where we kind of slowed down a pace, we actually dropped down a tier. So we're getting a little bit less than we were before in rewards. However, we are one away from we're away from gold. I would anticipate that now that we're speeding up, we'll probably get much higher in the rake tiers and see try and retrieve as much of that rake back as we can. So there we go. Progress, definitely a very good session for us. You know, any session where we finish down money, it doesn't seem like a victory. But these are very, 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 very pretty stats. This is very, very good. Ignore this number. This doesn't mean anything. This is the number that we want to try and get up, right? So a couple more sessions at 52, and we can start to turn our very low chip EV into something that looks a little bit more professional, and that's what we're trying to do today. We ran bad today, theoretically, Tom, in actual chips won. I would say we actually ran pretty well in the situations we found ourselves in, though. We had some good games. We had a couple setups go our way. We had some like 2-pair over straights, and we had 2-pair over 2-pair just now for the 1-2-5. All good stuff, right? But yeah, there we go. Tom says the last 10K games have been some really good run with the green line. We have been running very, very far above expectation in green line. If we go back to this year, and you can see that we're above EV here. If we filter from, we have to find the date now. Data. Is it hand to note? Did I put it here? Hand to note filters. There you go. So this is since the merge happened. So this is every hand that we've played. I got to get rid of the $10 line as well. This is every hand that we've played since Spinning Goes became the merged player pool, with the Spinning Go Flash mixed in. There you go. So Tom, you can see we're making up for lost time. We were actually below EV since the merge. So this is good. I mean, look, this has shown a lot of progress in terms of improving our red line. Our red line is sort of flatlining now, which is much better than where we were at before. There's going to be other components that change how the red line impacts as well, but this is definitely progress. We've been in the doldrums for ages. McCoy is saying, Nick, do you think Spinning Go pros would rather go back to reg speed? I know lots of players. I know lots of regs who would say absolutely yes. I know regs that don't care at all. I think they have very different qualities. And for me personally, you guys know how I feel. I really like regular speed Spinning Goes. So I miss playing strictly reg speeds. If it was up to me, either the existing format would be changed to be more reg speed more often, or just reg speed completely would be my preference. Having said that, I can say completely honestly, I've spoken to a lot of people who are involved with, you know, Spin and Go coaching and stuff like that too. They're like, some of my students hate it, some of my students love it. I think it's very, very different in the mindset of the players that are playing. There are some regs in the pool whose absolute addiction maybe is the wrong word. Their absolute objective is to play as much volume as possible, and they're not really that concerned about becoming a better poker player. And the reason for that is because they're trying to hit a rake target so they get maximum rewards, so that at the end of the year, they know that they're going to make at least X amount of rake back per year, which is completely valid. I'm not trying to diminish that in any way, shape, or form, because that's quite the undertaking. Having said that, it's not as simple as, okay, you can just play and it doesn't matter. You still have to play well in order to make that work. Like, you still have to hit minimum, you know, chip EV in order to make that a reality. You can't just say, if I play 1 million Spin and Goes this year, I'm going to make money because I get rake back. You have to still play well. So I'm not trying to diminish those guys. However, those guys are a little bit more focused on the mechanics of, like, you know, cash generation through rewards. I would say that a lot of players that actually enjoy Spin and Goes prefer the reg speeds because they actually enjoyed, like, the challenge of playing the deeper stacks, of, you know, playing longer levels at the deeper stacks. I preferred that. I thought that was better content for stream. And in my mind, that is a better experience for the average player who wants to play a Spin and Go, because, you know, regs might play the most volume, but thank you very much for the raid, Spin and Gold Academy. We're just wrapping up here. We're actually going to do a review session if you guys want to stick around, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, so, you know, if you think about, even though regs will put in the most volume, I think also if you're just a random guy who wants to play Spin and Go, I think generally speaking, you want to play a little bit more of the deeper stack stuff because there's more interesting spots. That's my opinion. But in all seriousness, McCoy, it is very divided. I would say most people that I know would prefer regs, though, reg speeds. Most people that I know preferred that experience as a game. Spin and Gold Academy, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate your continued support. If you guys want to watch some very good Spin and Go content outside of this channel, make sure you go and check out Spin and Gold Academy. They're making some great stuff, and really appreciate the raid. Welcome everybody from Spin and Gold. My name is Nick Walsh. I am a PokerStars ambassador, member of Team Pro, and I am trying to play Spin and Goes to the best of my ability. We actually had a good session today, guys. We got some hands for review. We're going to take a look in a sec. Really quickly, JP Marshmallow is saying, hi there, can you explain what the different color lines mean on that graph? I'm assuming red is win without showdown, green is with showdown, but what is yellow? So this is non-showdown. In fact, let me do this. It's usually blue and red. So I know this might be blue. I'm colorblind, but this is blue to me, or this is what I would call your blue line. Blue line is your profit and loss at showdown. So how many chips do we win, profit and loss in reality at showdown? Red line is non-showdown, so that's how much we are winning or losing in pots that do not go to showdown. The green line is the combination of these two, because green is just chips won. That's chips won in reality. That's the amount that you've won in reality. The orange line or the yellow line, whatever color this is, win-win, thank you for the follow. So this line is your all-in EV, or your, like, sometimes they call it luck-adjusted EV and stuff like that too. So the difference being that this line is an indication of the equity that we have earned in the pots where we are all in and we can't control the outcome. So, for example, if we start a new graph and you go all in with tens and I go all in with ace king, it's about 50-50, right? My green line, if I win the pot, will show that I've won 200. If you're all in for 100, I'm all in for 100. The total pot that I've won is 200. So at showdown, my blue line would go up like this, and my green line would follow because we haven't done any of your pots, right? So it would increase by 200 green line, but my actual EV of that situation is 50-50. So the amount that I win is still neutral. So what that does is it gives us an idea, or some indication of the profitability of the all-in situations that we played without luck being a factor. Bam, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. I hope that makes sense. Marshmallow, if you still don't get it after that, drop me a message on Discord. I can explain it in a voice note or something. But yeah, basically, you know, if we play 1,000 hands and we're all in if we're all in with the worst hand 1,000 times, but our green line shows that we're winning, it kind of brings us down to earth because it shows that the actual value of our play is shit. Or let's say that you're like a starting player and you go, oh my God, I've been playing cash and I'm up like $20,000. This is going so well. If you plugged it into a calculator like this, or a tracker, I think is a better word for it. If you plugged it into a tracker and it showed that you were getting it in bad a bunch, you're like, okay, what you're doing is great. I'm glad you're winning, but like the actual true EV of what you're doing long term will not be a positive outcome. Or, you know, you're just winning loads of flips or whatever. Billy Waynes, thank you for the follow. So in this case, you can see that our actual all-in EV is higher than the number of chips that we've won. But this is just, you know, whatever. It's just variance. In Spinning Goes, this is very, very rocky. If you look at a cash graph, you can do the same thing with the all-in EV, and that tends to be a little bit more less volatile. Having said that, that's sort of true, but not true, because also when you play big pots in cash, the amount that you win in big blinds can be significantly greater than the chips that we see fluctuate here too, but that's just to do with the units and not to do with the relevance. But yeah, okay, let's take a look at some review hands. We got a couple here. Sorry guys, distracted. All right, cool. So I'm gonna close up PokerStars now, guys. Let's close that up now. And let's fire up the review session. So just if you are new here, we are about to do some review. It will involve the use of GTO Wizard, which is not for use during play. So make sure that if you're going to study with that program or that browser application, make sure that you're closing everything and not doing anything at the same time. It can be detected. It's no bueno. Nobody wants you to do that, and you'll get in trouble. So interesting one here. Kmart is all in, and we know for a fact that we can shove ace-5 blind v blind here. So if this player folds, ace-5 is a slam dunk shove blind v blind for 15.5 big blinds. We know that to be a fact. We don't need to look that one up. However, once we see the 4.5, our range should be better than this range theoretically. But I don't know if we're still going to send it into the big blind here when this happens. Let's actually take a look. Let's fire up GTO Wizard for the first time today. It's actually not the first time. We actually paused earlier and did a little mini review session when we closed stars, but the first time in this session at least. Okay, nice. So we decided to make the fold here. Now, before we move on, why don't you guys have a little guess at what you think is the best offsuit ace that we shove here? A Simple Man Called Perry is a great username. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. McCoy's My Boy says, on the marked hands page, could you explain the EV difference? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. So really quick, guys, just a little game. I'm assuming that probably ace... maybe ace-7, ace-8 off is going to be the bottom, but let's take a look. Ace-7, there it is. Ace-7 is the jam. So, as played, is this right? 14, 16, 16. This is close enough. This isn't quite the same, but this is close enough. So, yeah, we're going to be folding. Actually, what? This seems to disagree. One second. Wait a second. Perfect play. Oh, okay. Sorry, we do send this one in. Excuse me. So we did send this one correctly. Never mind. That's interesting that we caught the jump between ace-5 and ace-7 though as well. Okay, anyway, nice hand. Cool. Good work. We're doing the right thing. King 10, all in for 11. Now, this is another interesting one because we're very differentiated in stacks here. This is a 6 big blind stack, and we've got both players covered. This, I'm assuming, is going to be good enough. Very often, our Broadway hands here are going to do well. This is quite important, though. in order for king 10 suited to be the correct all in here, which we don't know if it is yet, we haven't looked it up, this player has to be shoving the correct range, and this range will contain like, you know, 10-8 suited and like 9-10 suited and like 8-9 suited and all these hands as well. Let's take a look at this and see if we can learn something, but I'm pretty sure this one will go. Ooh, unsolved. Okay, cool. Let's see. It's because they don't have the actual spot itself. So let's take a look at, let's study it and let's see if we can get close. So it's 11, let's call it 11, 6, 6. Okay, so let's do, this is close enough. 11, 6 is close enough. Okay, cool. So all in, king 10 suited is the call. It's actually a pretty good call as well. So that's a call. No, that's fine. That's close enough for me. King 10 suited, definitely a call. Just before we move on, actually, let's take a look at that again. And let's actually look at the range, because it's not enough for us just to say that the call is good. We need to understand where the call comes from. So if this is meant to be the all-in, you can see 8-9 suited, 10-8 suited, 9-10 suited, Jack-9 suited. These are all quite natural to me. Queen-8 suited, I think people miss a lot. Queen-9 suited, Jack-9 suited. I think there's a lot that fish will completely miss, and that diminishes the value of King-10 suited. But as soon as we get to this point, as soon as we see this has 0.61 value, it's very hard to knock this hand down. You can take out combos from the shoving range, but for the most part, I would say that it's going to be hard to make this not a profitable all-in here. So McCoy's asking a specific question. So on this page, he's talking about the question here, the EV difference. So McCoy's my boy. That is exactly what we were talking about with Marshmallow. What it's saying is, this is the amount that you won, but this is the actual amount that it's going to dictate to the EV line. So a good example of this is, let's say that, like my example earlier, let's say that we win, let's say we go all in for 150 chips and our opponent calls, so the total pot is 300. Our chips graph is going to show plus 300 because we won, or it's going to be plus 150 or whatever, right? It's going to show that we won a 300 chip pot in some fashion, but it's only going to give us credit for half of that in the event that we're flipping against our opponent. So the EV difference, if this pot was 300 and we won half, it would only show plus 150 or something like that, right? So in reality, it would probably be plus 150, which is the amount that we won and profited, and then it would be 75, which would be half of that. So this is what gets added to the chip graph. This is what gets added or adjusted on the EV graph. It's an indication of, hey, we can look here at a glance and we can say, I want a huge pot, and then you can say, yeah, but your EV was trash, you got lucky. So you can spot it right away, right? If those numbers are very different, it's because, you know, you got lucky basically, or vice versa. Okay, so that was good. We're looking at a 7 now. We rip a 7 here into a 14 big blind stack and a 15 big blind stack. This is probably really close. Ace 8, definitely shove. Ace 9 off. Ace 10 off, definitely shove. Ace 7, as this player gets shallow. This might be a little bit preemptive, but I think at 14, we probably start shoving this hand anyway. So I'm just checking where the line is here. Yeah, like I said, it's dead close. It's pretty much identical. But if we were to change this now to 14s, as in small blind and big blind has 14 each, it becomes a push very quickly, I think. Let's look at symmetric and let's look at 14. Yeah, as soon as you hit 14, it's a 7 off. So we're thinking along the right lines. And this is actually very much to do with basically, you know, as we get shallower, we're going to benefit more from the shoves with our aces because we know that it's profitable as a jam, but the amount that we win is increasing in relation to the amount that we risk. So pretty straightforward stuff. If we get folds here, if they overfold, we print. It's really good for us overall. So in this spot, there was a min raise and we called with King 7 of hearts. We arrived on this flop. Our opponent bets 2. I think we opted to flat against the half pot bet here. Our opponent bets again. This time he goes to 4.5. We're definitely not folding. On the river, I don't see how we can ever fold this hand, basically. It feels terrible. The fact that he sized up on the flop already makes me uncomfortable. The fact that he has a pretty chunky bet on the turn makes me uncomfortable. Against a player who we know is like a super reg, we can't really fold. I'd be very surprised if we can ever get away with from top pair in this format, basically, for the most part. at least against regs. But this just feels gross to me. Like there's something about the way this pot plays out that makes me feel like we're not winning, and we weren't winning. He ended up having ace king, but I want to just double check I'm not being a complete lunatic here. Yeah, it kind of just is what it is. He has ace king, whatever. What I want to look at as well is the flop size here. So how often are you supposed to B2 here is the question. Pretty often. B2 is actually B2, B1, B3. It doesn't happen on this board. Of course, it wouldn't happen on this board. B1 being the most common, B2 is fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. There's not really too much science to it, guys. We have top pair. It's fine. It's cool. King deuce of clubs. So, okay, this is an interesting one. I know that we're supposed to shove some of our suited kings here. I don't think it's king deuce suited. I think it's going to be like king 4 suited plus maybe king 5. I want to double check where the line is. Okay, how much is it though? What's the range? What's the range? Okay, so it's actually king 3 is breaking even, king 4, king 5. Yeah, so the energy is good, the vibes are good. We're thinking along the right lines. We've taken out the bottom of our suited kings here correctly. That's good. And then we have 9-4 suited. So we jam this for 5 big blinds. This is definitely going to be Nash. It looks really, really ugly, but I think this is probably going to be marginally profitable. What I wouldn't be surprised if this hand specifically might become a limp when we balance in our limps here, because we want to limp with some of our very strong stuff still. Nope, it's fine. So our limps must actually be even weaker than that, right? We're just playing pure push fold here, basically. Okay, cool. So according to their solve here at 5 big blinds, there are no limps whatsoever. If we do want to include limps, this is where the limps would come from, though. Probably like 8-4 suited is a better example, 7-4 suited. Anyway, fine. The jam is good. Happy days. Okay. All right, so like I said, guys, we are definitely making progress. I mean, you can see the graph over time here. This is every single spin and go that we've played at all stakes. Let me just clean this up a bit. This is every spin and go that we've played at all stakes since the merge. So this is a complete sort of mathematical study sample of every game that we've played since we got into the merged sort of faster spin and goes. And you can see that we're definitely winning more than we're losing in chips at the very least. This year specifically is what we're focusing on, right? So this year we got sort of stuck here in the middle. We're definitely on a bit of an uptick here. We want to keep this going at all costs. We got to keep whatever we're doing today. We got to try and bottle that. We got to try and keep our head on straight. We got to keep the spirits high, keep that motivation, and we got to get through the volume here, guys. So almost to 4,000 games. We're almost halfway. And we're going to do another session tomorrow from around 2 p.m. onwards. So if you guys want to watch more like this, hit the follow button. If you haven't done so already, check me out on social media as well. I'll drop some links in the chat now. It's NickWalshTV anywhere if you just want to Google it instead. And follow me on those platforms. I'll let you guys know when we're going to go live. Tomorrow and Thursday for sure, we're doing streams. We're going to go from 2 p.m. onwards. We're going to play more like this. We're going to try and smash it up again. And I hope you guys will come and join. I might even do a stream on Friday, potentially this week. Friday is no good. Nope, Friday day might work. So we got Brighton Pride coming up this weekend, which is a big party here in Brighton. Friday evening, I think we have plans as well, but I think the day works. Anyway, one question here or one comment before. I think with the King 7 suited, when you call the turn, you should also call the river. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I think it's pretty straightforward. There's not really too much science to it, really, like, especially against a player we think is capable of maybe turning some of their sort of missed draws into bluffs. As played, we call down, it's fine. It's going to be totally cool. Hey, Nettie, how's it going? Heat wave tomorrow down the beach. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can deal with any more heat waves. It's so hot these days, man. I will probably be here, although I might go for a little beach walk tomorrow. Maybe I'll go to the gym tomorrow as well. All right, guys, I'm going to clock off for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more like this. Around 2 p.m. UK. Signing off for now. Good luck.